everything.
I'm sitting in a cafe with Dr. Guillaume Drouart. He's an astrophysicist. I'm not. He's French. Well, sort of. I'm Australian, I guess. Categorising stuff can be hard. Actually, I'm not in a cafe. That was in the past. I'm looking at the notes I'd made of the conversation, which read radio galaxy, lobe, plasma, jets of matter, never alone. My note-taking is appalling. If only I could go back in time and start again. I'm in a cafe with Guillaume. He's got a cup of black coffee and he's telling me about looking for supermassive black holes. And not just any supermassive black holes, the special ones, the ones with jets blasting matter into space, the 0.1% that are actively shaping galaxies. He's brought his 2-year-old daughter with him. She's found sand in the pot plants and is throwing it into the air. Your ordinary stellar black holes form when massive stars die and collapse. They're big, 5 to 10 times the mass of our sun, or 5 to 10 million times of the Earth. In our galaxy alone, there could be millions. But in comparison to supermassive black holes, they're tiny. Black holes have had a bad rap, often depicted as monstrous destructive forces that suck up anything nearby. A huge, ultramassive, humongous Dyson vacuum. We can probably blame Hollywood for some of this. We can blame Hollywood for a lot, but Hollywood is not where stars are made. Jets from supermassive black holes help make stars. They act like thermostats and provide the perfect conditions for controlling star formation. So galaxies are created by supermassive black holes, and there's one at the centre of every galaxy. Ours in the Milky Way is called Sagittarius A, and it's got a mass about 4 million times our Sun. So as supermassives go, it's small. The biggest discovered so far in 2019 in a galaxy called Holm A is estimated to be 40 billion times the mass of the Sun. These kind of sizes can seriously mess with your brain, and really there's no way to properly describe how big this is, but they're a long way off. Light takes time to travel. If you're watching this on a screen, it'll take a couple of nanoseconds for the light to reach your eyes. And when it has, what you're seeing is already in the past. So distance in space is measured by how long it takes light to travel. Now currently, the furthest object observed is a galaxy called GNZ11, detected by the Hubble telescope in 2016. It's 13 billion light years away, which means it's taken 13 billion years for the light to reach us. Which means when we observe it, what we see is 13 billion years in the past. It might not even be there anymore. The further we can look into the universe, the closer we get to seeing the beginning, the oldest galaxies, where it all began. I think about the importance we place on origins. Guillaume's moved a lot, living in different countries, different cities. So where's home now, I ask? Home is not a place, it's people, the people you love. It's like putting on an old pair of shoes. Guillaume's coffee cup is empty, and his daughter dips her hands into it and tastes the bitter grounds on her tongue. She doesn't seem to mind the taste. In the Murchison region of WA, they're building SKA, the Square Kilometre Array, the largest ever radio telescope. Guillaume says this will allow us to see as far back as the first 2 billion years of the existence of the universe. He's hoping to find some of the oldest black holes, the ones right at the start. If we're constantly getting better telescopes to see further into the universe and the past, how far back will we eventually be able to see? Not to the beginning, it turns out. There's a limit. The first few million years of the universe, there were no stars, nothing emitting light for us to see, a completely different plane of existence. Like the time we might have been in the womb, when the connections in the brain haven't formed enough to create memories. Generally, people can't remember anything before age 2. So Guillaume's daughter won't remember any of this day into the future. Does your family understand what you do, I ask? How do you continue a normal life? I don't really talk about it with them, he says. And if it came to a choice between studying the universe and my family, family is most important. His daughter is sitting on his lap, and she's disintegrating the piece of banana bread she was eating into a pile of crumbs on the table, which seems like an appropriate ending to our conversation. We leave the cafe, but it's plausible that if someone had the right telescope and they'd focused in from 13 billion light years away, they would see Guillaume and I. We'd be gone, of course. The cafe would be gone, as would the street and the whole planet, and probably our galaxy. But they could still see us. We travel by light into the future, an ever-onward journey to a singularity, which is fine, as long as you have coffee and an old pair of shoes.